The Productivity Playbook. Get More Done in Less Time. By Imperium Audiobooks. Introduction. Your new life starts here. What if I told you that you're working too hard, and that it's the very reason you're not getting the results you want? You see, most people think productivity is about hustle, about putting in more hours, grinding through more to-dos, and living life in constant motion. But here's the truth. Being busy is not the same as being productive. In fact, being busy is often the biggest obstacle to actually achieving what matters. Welcome to the Productivity Playbook. Get More Done in Less Time. Brought to you by Imperium Audiobooks. This book is not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about reclaiming your time, sharpening your focus, and finally feeling in control of your day. Here's the promise. By the time you finish this audiobook, you will have a clear, practical system for planning your days, weeks, and months, so you're always working on what truly matters. A way to manage not just your time, but your energy, so you can do your best work when you feel your best. Tools to eliminate distractions, crush procrastination, and stay focused until the job is done. And most importantly, the ability to create more freedom, time for your goals, your family, and yourself. By the end of this book, you won't just feel more organized. You'll become the kind of person who gets things done consistently without burning out. What you can expect. Think of this as your personal productivity coach in audiobook form. We're going to break down exactly why traditional time management doesn't work, teach you how to identify the tasks that actually move your life forward, and build a playbook that keeps you performing at your peak day after day. This isn't theory. This is a step-by-step system that you can start applying before you even finish listening. Your commitment. I only ask one thing from you. Don't just listen, take action. Every chapter comes with practical steps. Write them down, try them, experiment until they fit your life. Because knowledge without action won't change anything, but action on the right things will change everything. So if you're ready to finally stop feeling busy and start feeling accomplished, to get more done in less time and have the freedom you deserve, let's begin. In Chapter 1, we'll destroy one of the biggest lies you've been told about success, the myth that more hours equals more results. Once you break free from that mindset, you'll never look at your workday the same way again. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Myth of Hard Work. We've been told a story since childhood. If you want to succeed, you just have to work hard. Put in the hours, grind longer, sacrifice more, and eventually success will come. But here's the uncomfortable truth. If that were really the whole formula, then the hardest working people in the world, the single parent working 2 jobs, the construction worker pulling 12-hour shifts, the nurse doing back-to-back night shifts, would be the wealthiest, happiest, and most fulfilled. They aren't. Not because they lack discipline or effort, but because the equation is incomplete. Hard work is not enough. Effort without direction is wasted energy. Busyness without impact is just noise. This is the myth of hard work. The illusion of busyness. Let's start with something you've probably experienced. You wake up early, open your laptop and begin working. You answer emails, check messages, attend meetings, shuffle papers, scroll through notifications. You're in constant motion all day long, but when night comes, you look back and ask yourself, did I actually move closer to my biggest goals, or did I just stay busy? This is the trap most people live in, mistaking activity for progress. Think about it. An inbox of 0 doesn't guarantee you built anything valuable. Crossing 20 items off a to-do list doesn't guarantee any of them mattered. Working 12 hours doesn't guarantee the right things got done. Busyness is seductive, it feels productive, it keeps us moving, but if you're sprinting in the wrong direction, you'll only get further away from where you actually want to be. The treadmill effect. Picture a treadmill. You step on, you run, your heart pounds, sweat drips, you're working hard. But at the end of 30 minutes, you're still in the exact same place. That's what happens when you confuse hard work with productivity. You're burning energy but going nowhere. Millions of people live on this treadmill. They work all day, every day, but their lives don't change. They're exhausted but not fulfilled, busy but not progressing. And the saddest part, They believe the answer is to run faster. Hard work without strategy. Let's take an example. Imagine two people trying to build a house. The first grabs bricks and starts stacking them right away. He's sweating, laboring, and moving quickly. To an outsider, he looks like the definition of hard work. The second spends an hour studying the blueprints, organizing the materials, and laying the foundation. He starts slower, but in the end, his house stands strong, while the first person has a crooked pile of bricks that won't last. This is the danger of hard work without strategy. You might be exerting effort, but effort in the wrong direction is wasted. The law of diminishing returns. There's another problem with the just work harder approach. Eventually, more hours stop producing more results. Think back to the last time you pulled an all-nighter. At first, you may have been productive, but as the hours dragged on, your focus slipped. Mistakes crept in. A task that should have taken 30 minutes stretched into 2 hours because your brain was exhausted. This is the law of diminishing returns. After a certain point, more time doesn't equal more output, it equals less. The most productive people know this. That's why they guard their energy and focus just as carefully as they guard their time. A real example, I once worked with a startup founder who prided himself on working 14-hour days. He was always on, answering emails at midnight, jumping into every task himself, never taking a break. But his business was stagnant. Revenue wasn't growing, his team was frustrated, and he was on the edge of burnout. When we analyzed his schedule, the problem was obvious. 80% of his time was spent on low-value tasks like tweaking slide decks, double-checking spreadsheets, and micromanaging employees. The 20% of activities that actually drove growth, pitching investors, building partnerships, refining the product, were constantly pushed aside. We restructured his work. He began focusing only on the highest impact activities. Within 6 months, revenue tripled. He was still working hard, but now his effort was aimed at the right targets, redefining hard work. So what's the alternative? Should we stop working hard altogether? Of course not. Effort matters, discipline matters, focus matters, but hard work must be paired with clarity and leverage. Here's the new definition you must adopt. Productivity is not about how much you do, it's about how much of what you do actually matters. That means doing fewer things, but the right things, measuring success by outcomes, not hours, sharpening your axe before you start chopping trees. The mental shift. This requires a shift in how you see yourself. Most people wear busyness like a badge of honor. They brag about how little sleep they got, how many emails they answered, how long their workday was. But productivity isn't about how much time you spend working. It's about how much value you create in the time you do work. When you adopt this mindset, you stop glorifying busyness and start pursuing impact. You stop asking, how can I do more, and start asking what actually matters most right now. List today's tasks. Write down every task you worked on in the last 24 hours. Mark the impactful ones. Put a star next to the ones that directly moved you toward your biggest goals. Cross the noise. Draw a line through the ones that kept you busy but made little difference. Choose your big 3. Going forward, identify the 3 tasks each day that matter most and commit to finishing those before anything else. This single shift focusing on your big 3 can transform your productivity overnight. The road ahead. You now understand that hard work by itself is a myth. Busyness is not progress. More hours are not the solution. The real solution begins with clarity, focus, and the right mindset. And that's exactly where we're headed next. In Chapter 2, we'll explore how to rewire your beliefs about productivity, upgrade your identity, and train your brain to perform at its peak. Because once your mindset is aligned, the strategies that follow will multiply your results. Let's continue. Chapter 2. Mastering your mindset for peak productivity. If Chapter 1 was about shattering the myth that more hours equals more results, this chapter is about building the foundation that will make every hour you do work count. Because before you can control your calendar, your habits, or your systems, you must first control the most powerful tool you have, your mind. Mindset isn't just motivational fluff. It's the operating system that runs everything else. If your mindset is disorganized, fearful, or reactive, every strategy you try will eventually collapse under its weight. But when your mindset is strong, focused, and intentional, productivity becomes effortless, even automatic. The invisible enemy. Let's start with the hard truth. Most people aren't unproductive because they lack time. They're unproductive because of how they think about time. They believe productivity means filling every available minute, so they overcommit. They believe stress is the price of success, so they wear burnout like a badge of honor. These are mental programs running in the background, quietly sabotaging your progress. The first step is to identify these programs and rewrite them. Belief number 1. I don't have enough time. Let's tackle the most common excuse first. I don't have time. Here's the reality. You have the exact same 24 hours in a day as the most productive people on Earth. The difference isn't time, it's choice. The truth is, you do have time, you're just spending it on things that don't matter. Think about it. How many minutes today did you spend scrolling social media? How many times did you check your phone for no reason? How many times did you say yes to something you didn't actually want to do? If you reclaim just 2 wasted hours per day, you'd have 730 extra hours per year. That's the equivalent of 19 40-hour work weeks. Imagine what you could build with 19 extra weeks each year. Belief 2. I have to do everything myself. Another common belief that destroys productivity is the idea that you must personally do everything. This belief leads to micromanagement, decision fatigue, and a calendar filled with tasks that could easily be automated, delegated, or deleted. High performers think differently. They constantly ask, what can I eliminate? What can I automate? What can I delegate? This mindset frees them to focus only on the highest value work, the work only they can do. Belief number 3. Stress means I'm doing something important. Some people confuse stress with significance. They think if they're overwhelmed, it must mean they're working on big, meaningful goals. But stress is often a sign of poor systems, poor planning, and poor boundaries. True productivity doesn't feel like chaos, it feels like clarity. Imagine a world-class athlete preparing for a competition. They aren't running frantically in every direction. Their training is structured, focused, intentional. The same must be true for you. Identity, becoming a productive person. Here's something most productivity books never tell you. Long-term behavior change doesn't come from tactics, it comes from identity. If you see yourself as the kind of person who's always late, you will keep showing up late no matter how many calendars or alarms you use. If you see yourself as the kind of person who procrastinates, you will keep putting things off even if you buy the fanciest task manager app. Lasting productivity happens when you adopt a new identity. I am a productive person. I am a finisher. I am someone who uses time wisely. Once you believe this, your actions begin to align with it. You stop fighting against your old habits and start acting in harmony with who you believe yourself to be. The power of environment. Mindset isn't just internal, it's shaped by your environment. If your phone is constantly buzzing with notifications, you'll be distracted. If your desk is cluttered, your mind will be cluttered. If you're surrounded by people who glorify busyness, you'll feel guilty for slowing down. Set up an environment that supports focus. Turn off non-essential notifications. Keep a clear, organized workspace. Surround yourself with people who value deep work and meaningful progress. When your environment supports your mindset, productivity stops feeling like a battle. Mental habits that build focus. Just like physical habits shape your body, mental habits shape your results. Here are 3 you must develop. The pause habit. Before saying yes to anything, pause and ask, does this align with my goals? If not, say no or delegate. The reflection habit. Spend 5 minutes at the end of each day reviewing what you accomplished. This keeps you aware of where your time is going. The visualization habit. Each morning, picture yourself completing your most important tasks. This primes your brain to focus on what matters. These small habits compound over time, turning scattered, reactive thinking into laser-focused execution. Your assignment. Here's what I want you to do before Chapter 3. Write down your current beliefs about productivity, time, and work. Identify which ones are empowering and which ones are holding you back. Rewrite the limiting ones. For example, change I have to do everything myself to I focus on what only I can do and delegate the rest. Say these new beliefs out loud every morning for the next 7 days. This might sound simple, but it's powerful. You're not just changing your schedule, you're changing the operating system that runs your entire life. Moving forward, now that your mindset is being upgraded, you're ready for the next step, building a system that channels your time and energy toward the things that actually matter. In Chapter 3, we'll create a productivity framework, a step-by-step system that ensures every day moves you closer to your goals. You'll learn how to plan, prioritize, and structure your time so you get more done in less time without burning out. Chapter 3. Building your personal productivity system. You've now broken free from the myth that hard work alone is enough. You've upgraded your mindset and started rewriting the beliefs that hold you back. Now it's time to build something powerful, a system, because mindset without structure can only take you so far. Motivation can fade, inspiration can run dry, but a strong system carries you even on days when you don't feel like working. A productivity system is like a GPS for your life. It keeps you moving in the right direction, no matter how chaotic the world around you gets. Why you need a system? Let's be honest. Willpower is unreliable. It works great on Monday morning when you're feeling motivated, but by Thursday evening when you're tired and stressed, willpower alone won't keep you on track. That's why we create systems to automate the important parts of life so they happen by default, not by force. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, says it perfectly. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. If you want to get more done in less time, you must stop relying on memory and motivation and start relying on repeatable processes that guide your actions. The 3-part productivity framework. Your system should do 3 things. Productivity framework. Clarify. Decide what matters, what doesn't, and when each task will get done. Execute. Focus on doing the right things at the right time with as little friction as possible. Let's break this down. Step 1. Capture everything. One of the biggest causes of mental stress is trying to hold everything in your head. You remember an email you need to send, a bill you need to pay, an idea you want to explore, and it just bounces around in your mind all day. This drains your focus and creates constant mental clutter. The solution: capture everything. Carry a notebook, use your phone's notes app, or use a task manager like Todoist, Notion, or Trello. The tool doesn't matter, the habit does. The moment a thought, task, or idea pops into your head, write it down. This frees your brain from having to hold it and lets you focus fully on the present. Step 2. Clarify and prioritize. Capturing is just step 1. Once you've collected your tasks, you need to process them. Ask yourself these questions for every item. Does this really need to get done? If yes, does it need to be done by me? If yes, when is the best time to do it? This is where prioritization comes in. Not all tasks are equal. Some create massive results, while others are just busy work. Here's a simple but powerful prioritization framework, the Eisenhower matrix. Divide your tasks into 4 quadrants: urgent and important. Do these right away. Important but not urgent. Schedule these. These are usually your most valuable tasks. Urgent but not important. Delegate or automate these. Neither urgent nor important. Delete them. Most people spend their lives stuck in quadrant 3, reacting to things that feel urgent but don't actually matter. Your goal is to live more in quadrant 2, working on important tasks before they become urgent crises. Step 3. Plan your week. Once you've clarified your tasks, it's time to create a plan. Sunday evening or Monday morning, take 30 minutes to review your goals and schedule the most important tasks for the week ahead. Here's a simple template. Run big 3 goals. Write down the 3 outcomes you want to achieve this week. Key projects. List the projects that will move those goals forward. Time blocks. Put those projects in your calendar as appointments with yourself. Time blocking is a game changer. Instead of saying, "I'll work on this when I have time," you decide when you'll work on it and commit to that time. Step 4. Plan your day. Each morning, or the night before, plan your day in detail. Choose your top 3 priorities, the 3 tasks that, if completed, will make the day a success no matter what else happens. Then, schedule them into your most productive hours. Most people have peak focus in the first 2-4 hours of their day. Protect this time like gold. If you can complete your top 3 tasks before noon, you've already won the day. Step 5. Execute without distraction. Even the best plan is useless if you can't stay focused long enough to execute it. Here are a few techniques to stay in deep work mode. Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Repeat 4 times, then take a longer break. Single tasking. Close all extra tabs and apps. Do one thing until it's finished. Focus rituals. Create a start of work ritual, like clearing your desk, putting on headphones, or setting a timer to signal your brain it's time to focus. The goal is not just to work harder, but to work undistracted so you can get more done in less time. The power of review. At the end of each week, spend 15 minutes reviewing what went well, what didn't, and what needs adjusting. Ask yourself, what tasks gave me the biggest results? What wasted my time? What can I improve next week? This feedback loop is how your system gets better and better over time. Your assignment. Before the next chapter, I want you to do 3 things. Choose a capture tool and start writing down everything: tasks, ideas, commitments. Use the Eisenhower matrix to process at least 20 tasks and put them in the right quadrant. Create a weekly plan with your big 3 goals and time blocks for the coming week. This will be your first real taste of what it feels like to live with a system, and you'll notice the difference almost immediately. Moving forward, with your system in place, it's time to tackle the enemy that derails even the best plans: distractions. In Chapter 4, we'll learn how to eliminate digital noise, resist constant interruptions, and create a work environment where focus thrives. Because the fewer distractions you have, the more powerful your productivity system becomes. Let's dive deeper. Chapter 4. Eliminating distractions and building focus. You now have a system for capturing, clarifying, and scheduling your tasks. But let's face it, even the best system won't work if your focus is constantly under attack. And make no mistake, your focus is under attack. We live in an age of distraction. Notifications, messages, breaking news, social media, endless pings, all competing for your attention 24/7. The average person checks their phone over 100 times a day. Some people check it every 5 minutes, and every time you let yourself get distracted, your brain pays a price. Research shows that after an interruption, it can take 23 minutes to get fully back into a state of deep work. This chapter is about building a fortress around your attention so you can get more done in 2 hours than most people do in an entire day. Why focus is the ultimate productivity superpower. Most people think productivity is about doing more. In reality, it's about doing less, but doing it with complete presence and attention. Think of a magnifying glass focusing sunlight on a single point. When the rays are scattered, nothing happens. But when they are focused, they create enough heat to start a fire. That's what focus does for your work. It takes the scattered energy of your mind and channels it into one powerful beam that produces massive results. Step 1. Identify your biggest distractions. Before you can eliminate distractions, you have to know where they come from. Take a moment to think about what typically pulls you away from your work. Is it your phone buzzing, social media, constant email notifications, people interrupting you, or maybe your own wandering thoughts? Write these down. Awareness is the first step. Step 2. Control your digital environment. Let's be honest, most distractions today are digital. Here's how to reclaim your focus. Silence notifications. Turn off non-essential alerts on your phone and computer. If it's not urgent, it doesn't need to interrupt your focus session. Use Do Not Disturb mode. Schedule blocks of uninterrupted work time where calls, messages, and notifications are silenced. Log out of social media. Remove the temptation by logging out during work hours or using website blockers like Freedom or Cold Turkey. Check email on a schedule. Instead of living in your inbox, set 2 or 3 specific times per day to process email. You don't have to cut off technology completely. Just stop letting it control your attention. Step 3. Build a distraction-free workspace. Your physical environment affects your mental clarity. Declutter your desk. A cluttered desk creates a cluttered mind. Keep only what you need for your current task. Remove visual distractions. Face away from high-traffic areas, or use noise-canceling headphones to block out background noise. Create a focus zone. Make your workspace a place where only deep work happens. Train your brain to associate this space with concentration. Step 4. Master the art of single tasking. Multitasking is a lie. Your brain cannot actually focus on two demanding tasks at once. It just switches rapidly between them, wasting energy and increasing errors. Instead, commit to single tasking. Pick one task. Set a timer for 25 to 50 minutes. Do nothing but that task until the timer ends. This is called a focus sprint, and it's how top performers make rapid progress without burning out. Step 5. Guard your time from people distractions. Sometimes the distraction isn't digital, it's human. Co-workers drop by just for a minute. Friends send memes. Family members interrupt during your work hours. You have to set boundaries. Politely let others know when you're unavailable. Use signals, like headphones or a closed door, to indicate focus time. Schedule open office hours where people can reach you, instead of letting them interrupt at random. This isn't about being antisocial, it's about protecting the time you've committed to doing meaningful work. Step 6. Train your brain for deep work. Focus is a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Here are a few ways to build your focus stamina. Meditation. Spend 5 minutes a day focusing on your breath. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back. This trains your ability to redirect attention. Gradual focus expansion. Start with short focus sessions, 25 minutes, and gradually work up to longer ones, 60 to 90 minutes. Over time, you'll find it easier to stay immersed in a single task for extended periods. Step 7. Protect your energy. Even with fewer distractions, focus requires energy, and your energy isn't unlimited. Sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours per night. A tired brain can't focus. Nutrition. Avoid heavy sugar-loaded meals during work hours. Opt for steady energy foods like lean protein, vegetables, and healthy fats. Movement. Take short breaks to stretch or walk. Physical movement keeps mental energy high. Focus is easier when your body and mind are properly fueled. Your assignment. Here's your challenge before Chapter 5. Identify your top 3 distractions and create a plan to reduce or eliminate them. Block out one 90-minute focus session in your calendar tomorrow. During this session, silence your phone, close all extra tabs, and do one important task start to finish. Journal how you felt afterward. Did you get more done? Did you feel less stressed? This single exercise can be a game changer for your productivity. Moving forward, you've now built a powerful defense against distraction and learned how to create laser focus. In Chapter 5, we'll talk about energy management, because it doesn't matter how well you plan or how focused you are if you're running on empty. You'll learn how to work with your natural rhythms, avoid burnout, and perform at your best consistently. Chapter 5. Managing your energy like a CEO. You now have a system to organize your work, and you've learned how to eliminate distractions and build focus. But there's one more crucial element that most people ignore: energy management. Because even with the perfect plan and a distraction-free environment, if you're running on empty, you can't perform at your best. You don't just need more time, you need more quality energy during the time you have. This is what separates top performers from everyone else. They don't just manage their schedule, they manage their physical, mental, and emotional energy like a CEO manages a company's budget. The energy equation. Here's something most people never think about. Time is fixed, but energy is renewable. You can't create more hours in a day, but you can create more energy for the hours you do have. And energy isn't just physical, it has 4 dimensions. Physical energy, your body's stamina and strength. Mental energy, your ability to concentrate and make decisions. Emotional energy, your mood and motivation. Spiritual energy, your sense of purpose and meaning. When all 4 are full, you feel unstoppable. When they're depleted, even small tasks feel impossible. Step 1. Respect your ultradian rhythm. Most people are familiar with the circadian rhythm, your 24-hour sleep-wake cycle, but few know about ultradian rhythms, 90-minute cycles of high and low energy that repeat throughout the day. Research shows that your brain can focus deeply for about 90 minutes before it needs a short break. After that, your performance starts to decline. This means you should structure your day around energy sprints. Work deeply for 90 minutes. Take a 10-15-minute break to rest, stretch or walk. Begin another sprint. This is how elite athletes, musicians, and top executives maintain peak performance without burning out. Step 2. Sleep like a professional. Sleep is the foundation of energy management, yet it's often the first thing people sacrifice in the name of productivity. Big mistake. When you're sleep-deprived, your brain's prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making and focus, literally shuts down. You're more reactive, less creative, and far more likely to procrastinate. Here's how to upgrade your sleep. Consistent schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Digital sunset. Turn off screens an hour before bed. Blue light from phones and computers disrupts your sleep hormones. Cool dark room. Keep your bedroom cool around 18-20 Celsius and completely dark for deep rest. Sleep ritual. Read, stretch or journal before bed to signal your brain it's time to wind down. Think of sleep as your most important meeting of the day, because without it, nothing else works. Step 3. Fuel your body for focus. Food is fuel, and the wrong fuel will wreck your productivity. That heavy lunch that puts you into a food coma, that sugary snack that spikes your energy then crashes it. Those are productivity killers. Instead, aim for meals that keep your blood sugar stable and energy steady. Lean protein, eggs, chicken, fish, legumes. Healthy fats, avocado, nuts, olive oil. Complex carbs, vegetables, whole grains, sweet potatoes. Hydration, drink water consistently. Even mild dehydration hurts focus. Think of yourself as a high-performance machine. You wouldn't put cheap fuel in a race car, so why do it to your brain? Step 4. Move your body. Energy is created through motion. If you sit all day, your body literally down-regulates energy production because it thinks you don't need it. You don't have to run marathons, just move regularly. Reinaren. Take a 5-minute walk every hour. Stretch your back, neck and shoulders. Do short bursts of exercise. Push-ups, squats, jumping jacks. Movement oxygenates your brain, boosts creativity, and keeps fatigue at bay. Step 5. Manage emotional energy. Ever noticed how one negative conversation can ruin your whole day? That's because emotional energy is just as real as physical energy, and just as important to manage. Here's how to protect it. Reinaren. Reduce time spent with people who drain your energy. Practice gratitude. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each morning. This shifts your emotional state. Reframe stress. Instead of thinking I have to do this, try I get to do this. It turns obligation into opportunity. Your emotional energy sets the tone for your productivity. Guard it carefully. Step 6. Reconnect with purpose. The highest level of energy comes from having a sense of meaning in what you do. When you know why you're working on something, even difficult tasks feel lighter. When you don't, even easy tasks feel heavy. Take a moment to reconnect with your purpose. Why are you pursuing your current goals? What will achieving them allow you to do? Who else will benefit when you succeed? Purpose fuels perseverance, and perseverance fuels results. Your assignment. Before the next chapter, I want you to create your energy ritual, a set of daily habits that keep your physical, mental, and emotional energy high. Here's an example. Wake up at the same time each morning. Drink a glass of water immediately. Move your body for 10 minutes. Plan your top 3 priorities for the day. Take a 10-minute walk after lunch. Review your day and shut down screens an hour before bed. This may seem simple, but stacking these small habits will transform your energy levels within a week. Moving forward, with your energy optimized, you're now ready to turn your attention to something just as powerful, building habits that stick. Because systems and focus are great, but it's your daily habits that ultimately determine your future. In Chapter 6, we'll create a step-by-step blueprint for turning productivity into an automatic part of your life. No more relying on willpower. You'll be running on habits that work for you, even when motivation fades. Chapter 6. Building habits that stick. You've learned how to plan your work, protect your focus, and manage your energy like a pro. But here's the thing, systems, calendars, and focus sessions only work if you keep using them. And that's where most people fail. They start strong, they set up the perfect productivity system, they buy a new planner, write out their goals, even commit to waking up early. But within a few weeks, or even a few days, they're back to their old routines. Why? Because they relied on motivation instead of habits. Motivation is unreliable. Some mornings you'll wake up inspired and ready to conquer the world, but others you'll feel tired, distracted, or just not in the mood. If your productivity depends on how motivated you feel, you'll always be inconsistent. The solution: build habits that make productivity automatic. The habit loop: how your brain automates behavior. Every habit, good or bad, follows the same three-step pattern, known as the habit loop. Kunin trigger: something happens that tells your brain it's time to act. Routine, behavior: you perform the habit itself. Reward: your brain receives a benefit that makes it want to repeat the behavior next time. For example, Kunin: kunchait, you feel stressed. Routine: you grab your phone and scroll social media. Reward: you get a quick hit of dopamine, a small sense of relief. This loop is why habits are so powerful. They run automatically once the cue appears. If you want to build habits that stick, you have to design the loop intentionally. Step 1. Start small, really small. Most people fail at habit building because they go too big too soon. They decide they're going to work out for an hour every day, write 2,000 words every morning, meditate for 30 minutes, and then they burn out in a week. The secret is to start so small that it feels almost too easy. Want to start journaling? Write one sentence. Want to meditate? Sit in silence for 60 seconds. Want to exercise? Do one push-up. You're not trying to get fit or become enlightened on day one. You're just trying to become the type of person who does the habit. Once it's automatic, you can scale it up. Step 2. Anchor new habits to existing ones. The easiest way to remember a new habit is to attach it to something you already do every day. This is called habit stacking. The formula is simple. After I current habit, I will new habit. Examples: by linking the new habit to an existing cue, you leverage your brain's autopilot system. Step 3. Make the habit attractive. Your brain craves rewards. If a habit feels like a chore, you won't stick with it. To make habits stick, you have to make them enjoyable. Pair them with something you love. Example: only listen to your favorite podcast while exercising. Track your progress visually. Example: use a habit tracker or calendar and don't break the chain. Celebrate small wins. Granta. Example: give yourself a high five, literally. Your brain associates success with good feelings. The more satisfying the habit feels, the faster it becomes automatic. Step 4. Remove friction for good habits. Make your habits easy to do. So easy they require almost no willpower. Lay out your gym clothes the night before. Keep a notebook by your bed if you want to journal at night. Place healthy snacks at eye level in your kitchen and hide junk food out of sight. On the flip side, add friction to bad habits. Granta. Delete distracting apps from your phone. Move the TV remote to another room. Log out of social media so it takes extra steps to check. Design your environment so that the good habits are the path of least resistance. Step 5. Use identity to lock in habits. Here's the most powerful mindset shift you can make. Stop trying to achieve goals. Start becoming the kind of person who naturally does the habits that lead to those goals. Instead of saying, "I want to be productive," say, "I am the kind of person who plans my day and gets things done." Instead of saying, "I want to get in shape," say, "I am the kind of person who doesn't miss workouts." Your actions will eventually match your identity. When you identify as a productive person, missing your focus time will feel as strange as skipping brushing your teeth. Step 6. Automate where possible. If a habit can be automated, do it. Set recurring calendar reminders. Use automatic bill payments so you never forget. Batch repetitive tasks, like meal prepping or email processing, into one session. The less mental effort a habit takes, the more likely it will last. Your assignment: before Chapter 7, choose 2 key habits that will have the biggest impact on your productivity and energy, and design a habit loop for each. Write down the cue that will trigger the habit. Define the smallest version of the habit you can commit to. Decide how you'll make it attractive and satisfying. Set up your environment to make it easy. For example, habit: daily planning. Cruddy, after I make my morning coffee. Small step: write my top 3 tasks for the day. Reward: listen to my favorite morning playlist while planning. Environment: Keep my planner and pen next to the coffee machine. Do this for 2 habits and stick with them until they become automatic. Moving forward, in the next chapter, we'll talk about something equally critical: overcoming procrastination and resistance. Because even with perfect habits and systems, there will still be days when you don't feel like working, and knowing how to push through those moments is what separates the truly productive from the average. Chapter 7. Beating procrastination once and for all. You've learned how to build habits that stick, but let's be honest, there will still be days where you just don't feel like doing the work. You know the feeling. You sit down at your desk, open your laptop, and suddenly every possible distraction seems urgent. You check your phone, you make a snack, you answer just one email. Before you know it, hours have passed and the important task you were supposed to do is still sitting there untouched. That's procrastination, and it's one of the biggest killers of productivity. But here's the good news. Procrastination isn't a sign that you're lazy or broken. It's simply a sign that something in your brain is resisting action, and once you understand why, you can beat it every time. Why we procrastinate. At its core, procrastination is about avoiding discomfort. Your brain is wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, so when a task feels boring, confusing, overwhelming, or scary, your brain tries to protect you by steering you towards something more comfortable, like checking social media or cleaning your desk. There are 4 common triggers that cause procrastination. Boredom. The task just isn't interesting. Confusion. You're not sure where to start. Overwhelm. The task feels too big or complicated. Fear. You worry you might fail or look foolish. Your job is to identify which trigger is at play and then diffuse it. Step 1. Break it down. When a task feels overwhelming, your brain perceives it as a threat and resists. The solution is to make the task smaller, so small it feels doable right now. For example, don't write a report, just write the first sentence. Don't clean the entire house, just clear the table. Don't launch a business, just research one potential name. When you lower the barrier to starting, you bypass your brain's resistance and build momentum. Step 2. The 5-minute rule. Promise yourself you'll work on the task for just 5 minutes. 5 minutes feels too small to resist, but once you start, momentum often carries you forward. This works because action creates motivation, not the other way around. Step 3. Reduce friction. We talked about friction in the last chapter. It's just as powerful here. If you keep procrastinating on a task, ask yourself, how can I make starting easier? Can I prepare my workspace the night before? Can I gather all the tools I need ahead of time? The fewer decisions you have to make, the less resistance you'll feel. Step 4. Use temptation bundling. This is a powerful technique where you pair something you want to do with something you need to do. For example, only listen to your favorite playlist while cleaning, only drink your fancy coffee while working on your project, only watch your favorite series while doing household chores. This turns a dreaded task into something your brain actually looks forward to. Step 5. Practice the worst-case scenario exercise. Fear-based procrastination is often worse in your mind than in reality. Try this. Write down the worst possible outcome of doing the task, then write down the likely outcome, then write down what you could do to recover even if the worst case happened. 9 times out of 10 you'll realize the fear was exaggerated and you'll feel freer to take action. Step 6. Design an anti-procrastination ritual. Rituals signal your brain that it's time to get to work. Here's an example you can try. Blanc. Start your task with a timer for 25 minutes. Repeating this ritual trains your brain to shift into work mode automatically, like an athlete preparing to compete. Step 7. Reward action, not just completion. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting to reward themselves until the task is done. But if the task takes hours or days, your brain won't connect the effort with the reward. Instead, reward yourself for simply showing up and doing the work. Took the first step. Celebrate it. Worked for 25 minutes without distraction. Celebrate that too. This conditions your brain to associate starting with pleasure, which makes procrastination less likely in the future. Step 8. Forgive yourself and reset quickly. Even the most productive people procrastinate sometimes. The difference is they don't beat themselves up over it. They reset and get back on track. Research shows that people who forgive themselves for procrastinating are less likely to procrastinate in the future, so the next time you slip up, skip the guilt. Simply say, "Okay, I lost focus, let's begin again." Your assignment. Here's what I want you to do before Chapter 8. Identify one task you've been putting off. Ask yourself why you've been procrastinating. Is it boredom, confusion, overwhelm, or fear? Break the task into the smallest possible step. Use the 5-minute rule and just start. Reward yourself immediately afterward, even if you only worked for a short time. Do this daily and you'll start building an identity as someone who takes action, even when they don't feel like it. Moving forward, now that you know how to beat procrastination, it's time to step into the next level of productivity, using leverage to multiply your results. In Chapter 8, we'll talk about how to delegate, outsource, and automate so that you can focus on the high-value tasks that truly move the needle, and finally free yourself from busy work. Chapter 8. The Power of Leverage. Delegate, automate, and multiply your time. Up to this point, we've focused on how to personally become more productive, planning better, focusing better, managing energy, building habits, and beating procrastination. But there's a hard limit to what you can accomplish if you're doing everything yourself. The most successful, productive people in the world understand a secret. You don't have to do it all, you just have to make sure it gets done. This chapter is about using leverage, the ability to multiply your output without multiplying your effort. When you master leverage, you can get more done in one day than most people get done in a week. The mindset shift, from worker to architect. Most people think productivity means working harder and longer, but top performers think like architects, not just workers. They ask Rontol, "What's the best way to get this done? Do I personally need to do this, or could someone else handle it? Can this be automated or systematized?" This shift in thinking is crucial. Stop asking, "How can I do more?" and start asking, "How can I make more happen with less of my time?" Step 1. Identify your highest value work. Before you can delegate or automate, you need to know what is truly worth your time. Here's a simple exercise. Write down everything you do in a typical week, both at work and in your personal life. Put a star next to the tasks that actually move you closer to your goals or use your unique strengths. Put an X next to the tasks that are repetitive, low value, or could easily be done by someone else. Your goal is to spend as much time as possible on your starred tasks and reduce, delegate, or eliminate the rest. Step 2. Learn to delegate effectively. Delegation is not just for CEOs. Whether you run a company or manage a household, you can delegate tasks that don't require your personal attention. Here's how to delegate without stress. Choose the right person. Match the task to someone with the skills or willingness to learn. Give clear instructions. Explain exactly what needs to be done by when and what the desired outcome looks like. Provide tools and resources. Make sure they have what they need to succeed. Trust but verify. Set a check-in point to review progress without micromanaging. Yes, it takes time to delegate the first time, but once you've trained someone, that task is off your plate forever. Step 3. Automate repetitive tasks. Anything that happens on a regular schedule can usually be automated. Bill payments. Set up automatic payments for utilities, rent, subscriptions, reminders. Use calendar apps to schedule recurring tasks so you never forget. Email rules. Create filters to sort emails automatically. For example, send invoices to a specific folder. Technology tools. Use apps like Zapier, IFTTT, or AI assistants to connect and automate your workflows. Automation is like hiring an invisible employee who works 24/7 for free. Step 4. Batch similar work. Even if you can't automate or delegate a task, you can often make it more efficient by batching it. Make all your phone calls back-to-back. Meal prep for the entire week in one session. Batching reduces context switching, which drains mental energy and lets you get into flow faster. Step 5. Outsource your personal life. Leverage isn't just for business. You can use it to free up time at home too. Consider outsourcing. Grocery delivery or meal kits. House cleaning. Laundry service. Yes, it costs money, but remember, you can always make more money. You can't make more time. If a task costs you $20 to outsource but frees up an hour you can use for high-value work or rest, it's often worth it. Step 6. Build systems that run without you. Systems are the ultimate form of leverage. A system is simply a repeatable process that produces a predictable result. For example, a morning routine is a system for starting your day with energy. A checklist is a system for making sure tasks are done right every time. A content calendar is a system for creating and publishing consistently. The more systems you build, the less mental energy you waste reinventing the wheel, and the more results you get on autopilot. Step 7. Think in multiplication, not addition. Ask yourself regularly, how can this task be done faster? How can this be done by someone else? How can this process create results over and over without me? This is how leaders scale their businesses, their careers and their lives. They multiply their results by multiplying their leverage. Your assignment. Before Chapter 9, choose 3 tasks from your list that you can delegate, automate or batch this week. For each one, write down exactly how you'll delegate or automate it. Decide when you'll implement it. Put it in your calendar. Then track how much time you free up. You might be shocked at how much mental space you gain by simply taking a few repetitive tasks off your plate. Moving forward, now that you've learned how to multiply your time, it's time to take things one step further by designing a sustainable system that keeps you productive for the long term. In Chapter 9, we'll talk about building a personal productivity system that acts as your autopilot, so you can keep getting results week after week without constantly relying on willpower. Chapter 9. Your personal productivity system. Your autopilot for success. By now you've learned how to master your focus, your energy, your habits, and even how to leverage other people and technology to multiply your time. But here's the truth. If you don't put everything into a single cohesive system, you risk falling back into chaos. Systems are what separate people who occasionally feel productive from those who are consistently productive. This chapter is about building a personal productivity system that runs like an operating system for your life. A system so reliable that you can trust it to hold everything that matters, so your brain is free to think, create, and innovate. Why you need a system. Your brain is an incredible tool for generating ideas, solving problems, and making decisions. But it's a terrible place to store information. Every uncompleted task you carry around in your head creates mental drag, what David Allen, author of Getting Things Done, calls open loops. An open loop is anything you've agreed with yourself to do but haven't captured, clarified, or scheduled. When you build a personal productivity system, you close those loops by getting them out of your head and into a trusted place where they won't be forgotten. This reduces stress, boosts clarity, and allows you to focus fully on what you're doing right now. Step 1. Capture everything. The first rule of a personal productivity system: if it's on your mind, it goes in the system. Capture everything. Tasks, ideas, commitments, projects, reminders. As soon as they pop into your head, you can use a notebook, an app like Todoist, Notion, or even your phone's Notes app. The tool doesn't matter as much as your commitment to use it consistently. Step 2. Clarify and organize. Once you've captured everything, process your list at least once per day. For each item, ask, what is this? Is it actionable? What is this? Is it actionable? What is this? What's the next physical action? If no, trash it, file it as reference, or put it in a someday list. Then organize actionable tasks into the right place. Calendar, for anything time-specific. Task list, for tasks you can do anytime. Project list, for tasks that require multiple steps. Step 3. Prioritize with the rule of 3. Each morning, review your tasks and choose your top 3 priorities for the day. The 3 things that would make the biggest impact if completed. Do these first whenever possible. This keeps your day focused and prevents you from getting lost in busy work. Step 4. Weekly review. Your productivity system will break down if you don't maintain it. That's why you need a weekly review, a time to step back, review everything you've captured, and reset for the week ahead. During your weekly review, empty your inboxes, digital and physical. Review all open projects and next actions. Schedule time blocks for high-priority tasks. Reflect on what worked and what didn't last week. This practice is like cleaning and sharpening your tools. It keeps your system sharp and reliable. Step 5. Build routines around your system. Your system becomes most powerful when it's part of a routine. Here's a sample. Morning. Capture ideas. Review top 3 priorities. Start with your most important task. Midday. Quick check-in to process new inputs. Evening. Review what you accomplished. Capture any loose ends. Weekly. Do your full review every Friday or Sunday. Routines keep your system running automatically, so you never feel like you're starting from scratch. Step 6. Keep it simple. The biggest mistake people make with productivity systems is overcomplicating them. You don't need color-coded tags, 5 different apps, or a 20-step workflow. Your system should feel like a supportive safety net, not a burden that takes more time than it saves. When in doubt, simplify. Step 7. Evolve your system over time. No system is perfect from day one. Your life changes, your priorities change, and your system should adapt with you. Review your system every few months and ask, is this still working? Is there anything I can streamline? Are there tools or processes I no longer need? Think of it as continuous improvement. Your system should grow with you, not hold you back. Your assignment. Before the final chapter, I want you to build the foundation of your own personal productivity system. Choose your capture tool, notebook, app, or both. Do a brain dump. Write down everything on your mind. Process your list. Clarify next actions. Organize tasks. Schedule important items. Pick a time for your weekly review and put it on your calendar. This single exercise will take you from scattered and reactive to calm, clear, and in control. Moving forward, in the final chapter, we're going to talk about momentum and mastery, how to keep your system running for the long haul, stay motivated through ups and downs, and continue leveling up year after year. Because productivity isn't about a single good week, it's about creating a lifetime of results without burning out. Chapter 10. Momentum and Mastery. Becoming the person who gets things done. You've made it. You've learned how to focus, how to manage your energy, how to plan effectively, how to eliminate distractions, how to leverage time, and how to build a personal productivity system that keeps you on track. But here's the truth. Knowing what to do isn't enough. The real challenge is staying consistent long enough to see massive results. This chapter is about momentum and mastery, how to build unstoppable forward motion, keep going when life gets hard, and become the kind of person who doesn't just get things done occasionally, but consistently, almost effortlessly. The power of momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in your life. When you're in motion, everything feels easier, decisions are quicker, motivation is higher, and progress becomes self-reinforcing. But when you lose momentum, everything feels harder. Even simple tasks feel overwhelming. That's why your number one goal is to protect your momentum at all costs. Step 1. Start small. Stay consistent. Big results come from small, consistent actions compounded over time. Instead of trying to overhaul your entire life in one day, focus on building tiny, repeatable wins. Do a 5-minute daily planning session. Spend just 10 minutes decluttering your workspace. Each small action builds confidence, and confidence fuels momentum. Step 2. Measure your progress. What gets measured gets managed. Track your productivity, not to beat yourself up, but to see the story of your progress. You can measure how many priority tasks you complete per day, how often you do your weekly review, how many days in a row you stick to your system. Seeing your streaks grow keeps you motivated and shows you that your efforts are paying off. Step 3. Celebrate wins. Don't wait until you've reached some distant finish line to celebrate. Every time you follow your system, complete your top 3 tasks, or stay focused through a distraction, take a moment to acknowledge it. Celebration builds emotional reinforcement. It tells your brain, this is good, do more of this. Here's a secret. Even the most productive people in the world have bad days, bad weeks, sometimes even bad months. The difference is, they know how to recover quickly. When you fall off track, forgive yourself. Guilt only wastes more time. Review your system and reset your priorities. Do one small thing to get back into motion. Momentum is like riding a bike. The hardest part is starting again. But once you're moving, everything becomes easier. Step 5. Surround yourself with the right people. Your environment matters. Surround yourself with people who respect your time, share your values, and encourage you to stay on track. Find accountability partners, join mastermind groups, or simply tell a trusted friend your weekly goals and check in with them. When you have support, staying consistent becomes far easier. Your life will evolve, and so should your system. Keep experimenting with new tools, routines, and methods. Ask yourself regularly, what's working well? What's slowing me down? What's the next small improvement I can make? These questions will keep you growing and refining your approach over time. Step 7. Focus on identity, not just outcomes. Here's the most powerful mindset shift of all. Stop trying to just do productive things. Become a productive person. When productivity becomes part of your identity, it's no longer a chore, it's just who you are. Tell yourself, I'm the kind of person who plans my day. I'm the kind of person who finishes what I start. I'm the kind of person who protects my time. Your actions will eventually match your identity. Your final assignment. Before we wrap up, I want you to do something powerful. Write a personal manifesto, a short paragraph about the kind of person you are becoming. For example, I am a focused, disciplined, and creative person. I use my time intentionally, follow my system, and get important things done. I have control over my day and create space for the things that truly matter, my goals, my health, and the people I love. Read it every morning for the next 30 days. This is how you lock in your transformation, by reminding yourself daily of the person you are becoming. Closing words. Congratulations, you've just completed the Productivity Playbook. Get more done in less time. By now you have everything you need to plan your days with clarity, focus deeply on what matters, leverage your time through delegation and automation, build a system you can trust, stay consistent, and build unstoppable momentum. But most importantly, you now have the mindset of a person who gets things done. Remember, this is not the end. It's the beginning of a new way of living. Your life will not transform because you listen to this book. It will transform because you take action on what you've learned. So take that first small step today. Build your system, choose your top 3 priorities and get them done. Momentum starts now.